loved the house, loved the heritage.
That's great. Now I'm fixing structure. Now we're pulling up the whole floor.
These contractors aren't showing up, and we have no kitchen, no bathroom, and it was just going from bad to worse.
Look at the water in there.
What should have taken 2 weeks took 4 months. It was ridiculous.
This is a sponge bath, not a shower stall.
Everything it seems that they've touched is falling apart.
Oh my God. Do you believe this? It's Pandora's box in here.
Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. But if you're going to do it right the first time. Let's get rid of it. Why do you do this to a family? Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Oh, my God. On the money. 2, 3.
Oh, my God!
Perfect.
Oh, do I ever?
Nice neighborhood. John and Kjirsten bought this house approximately 4 years ago. Older home. I love old homes, truthfully. It's a shame we don't learn from old technology. Really no mold. The house breathes inside and out until you bring in a new contractor.
The kitchen needed to be redone, the bathroom needed to be redone, a lot of the walls had to be fixed. And we decided to hire some contractors that had done some work on our previous home. They'd built a deck, and
Just in case the doorbell doesn't work. Hey, how you doing?
How are
Kjirsten? John, nice to see you again. In some people's minds, they're gonna look at someone that can build a deck and they've gotta know how to do an addition, electrical, plumbing, kitchen, bathroom. Obviously, we know it's the bathroom that we're gonna be looking at, so let's start in the kitchen.
Sure.
Very nice.
On the surface, when you look at the house, it looks great, but if you look at everything that they touched, it's all falling apart in one shape or one way or another.
Like usual, a lot of the jobs that I take on doesn't look too bad. We see a few small problems, mainly on the finishing and the trim of the tiles, but that's usually the indication that what you don't see is a lot worse. They're not bathroom guys, they're not kitchen guys. They did build a deck for you though, didn't they? How was the deck by chance?
It was
The
good.
old house was
Yeah.
great.
Good deck?
Yeah.
Well, we had to take it down because they didn't get permits.
Oh, see what happens? Now that reminds me, did you get permits here?
They didn't say anything about permits.
No permits? What damage has been done? Now it's got to come down. Now we got to fix whatever they've compromised and then put it back together again properly. Was that bulkhead always there?
That was actually raised. That was lower.
Yeah.
So that's underneath the bathroom, I'm going to assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start by looking at the bathroom. That kind of concerns me that it was raised up.
We really wanted a tub and a separate shower, but because of space issues, we knew that we'd be really limited. So we decided to go with the showstopper shower stall.
Wow.
I know. We had this beautiful slate work done, or so it looked beautiful. And we noticed the floor never dried because it wasn't sloped properly in to drain. And it started to get moldy, and it was really hard to keep clean. And then the tiles surface, I guess the sealant or whatever they used to finish it started to come off, so the tiles started to look chalky.
Now all your paint's peeling. I guess you noticed.
The ceiling is one of the parts of the bathroom that they fixed, supposedly. And it started to crack and peel, and I thought maybe it was just an aesthetic thing, a paint job that I could fix. And so when I tried to attack this peeling paint with a scraper, I came across some weird stuff and it didn't feel like plaster underneath. It felt like almost drywall board or something underneath. Big chunks of plaster fall on your head while you're in the shower, and the tiles are, the grout is cracking, and it just seems like everything is wrong.
What should you be having to fix after contractors come in?
After spending all
How
that
much
money.
did you give this contractor? I'm curious.
Well, the initial quote was for $16,000, but because,
Including the kitchen?
Yeah.
but not for the cabinetry.
for this
That was
one.
just for their work.
So they price it out for labor, not material. They hand it over to the homeowner. You bought the cabinets, you bought the glass, everything else, the tile,
Yeah.
the sink, the toilet. It gets scary there because how much is the material going to be? Shouldn't the contractor be able to tell you that? The answer is yes. You should know exactly what it is, and I do not recommend in just paying any type of a labor amount. You want a full contract price.
We paid for our own shower, the taps and everything. And
So you
they
bought
just-
everything. They made 16 grand labor. Sorry, they made
know.
actually very good money for doing crap work. As the job continues, the contractor then gets paid damn near in full or in full. And that's when everything starts falling apart. There's problems. They pick up the phone, they call them.
He changed his cell phone every couple of weeks. So
How
that-
nice. So you couldn't
so
get a
it was
hold of them.
really difficult to get a hold of him.
Gets to the point where John is phoning at 2 o'clock in the morning from a phone booth down the street.
I'd just keep phoning until his wife would answer the phone and have like a heart attack on the phone.
The wife answers the phone after 200 rings, obviously irate.
He wouldn't come to the phone. I only talked to his wife, but then he would show up the next morning and I'd have to just say, look, you know, he kind of forced me to do that, so.
You know, if you're a man of your word, you step up to it. You come in, you take a look and say, what's the problem? How can I fix this? How can I make you happy? But when you keep changing your number and you're getting your wife to answer the phone, that shows who you are. Did they put that fan in?
No, they didn't put the fan in, but they put the pot lights in.
They put the
Yeah.
pot lights in.
One of
All right.
which fell on my head once. Well, almost fell on my head when I was brushing my teeth. So just kind
They're
of
not
dropped
supposed to
out.
fall on your head.
No, I was pretty sure of that.
6 months they were here on this job. That's a little bit ludicrous. You're looking 2 weeks max on the bathroom and 2 weeks on the kitchen.
It was really difficult because we were living through the renovation as well. So we were living, you know, relegated to one room.
It was brutal. It was like, and you couldn't get any rest because we were choking on dust every day. And
3 cats, a litter box, 2 air mattresses, and a tiny little TV on a milk crate. So
no food. Like we couldn't cook here for
No.
4 months or something like that. And then no showers.
and that's where we ate our meals. That's where we slept. It was really bad.
It was horrible. It was like apocalypse now. It was like the worst ever.
We do know that we're gonna gut it. We know that it's just not going to be, can we save anything? No. When it's done half wrong, obviously it's all wrong. I've got a bad feeling. We're gonna find electrical problems, plumbing problems. My biggest fear is structural problems. What did they cut out to create this bathroom?
Just to, you know, let us get on with our lives and finally have the bathroom that we wanted and that we paid so much money for.
We'll make it right.
Thank
Keep smiling.
Thanks.
Sorry, it's gonna take a couple weeks. But we're gonna find a lot of water under this, I'll tell you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Brand new bathroom, eh?
Wow.
I'm especially nervous about the shower and seeing what's going on there, so. But I guess time will tell.
Gotta love this. We worked until 11 last night. Finished that job. Here we come in today to demo the next one. Start off with draping everything off, bring the bin in, and away we go. Object today is to pull it down. Let's start with pulling all this out. Cabinet, toilet, sink, pictures, save all their stuff.
Okay. Get it into the bedroom, then plastic off. We also have animals I hear in here.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's 4 cats, so we'll leave those.
4 cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said don't let them out. They'll lose them.
Okay.
Can you give me something else? Something heavy?
How's that? That's really heavy.
One of the smartest things I ever bought was at a boat show. And I went to a boat show. Not like I have time to buy a boat. Look at that, eh? So far, so good, other than a few illegal things or not allowed things. Electrical. People don't know, eh? It's gonna be easy to, oh, it's steaming up in here. I got the door closed. I'm in the shower. Let's reach out and turn on the fan. When your body touches water and you touch electricity, you risk 100% amperage flying through your body. Usually death. What are we gonna do with that glass? We can't recut it.
Can I keep it?
The only thing I can actually keep is the door.
Yeah, the track and everything.
Yeah, because it's tempered, we can't recut it. Tempered glass is very hard to hit this way. And it usually will not break. I'm telling you, I've hit it with sledgehammers. But shock it from the side, this thing will explode. Shock the edge, explode the glass. It's designed to explode in many, many pieces so that if you're in here and you actually do fall against it, shock it, and break it, the idea is it's not going to be jagged and cut you to pieces.
This guy loves silicone.
Now, they like silicone, but they didn't put it under this. And here's a great example how water can get through. It's wet, totally wet and mucky underneath it. So water is gonna get in the holes. If this is soaking wet, it's gonna be easy for it to follow the threads down. All you needed was a bead of silicone. Great silicone job. We have silicone holding the plate on, silicone within the frame of the glass. Everything's completely silicone. Silicone, I always talk about this.
Yeah.
Make sure you do around everything, right?
Yeah.
So behind all the excussion plates are silicone. They did that.
Yeah.
But no silicone under the most vulnerable spot. I'm gonna pop that tile just to show. More than likely it went underneath it. Now, how old is this bathroom? Not that old.
Yeah, there you go.
Water got under it. They capped it, and yet the water still got in. Well, you can see the mold on it.
Yeah.
They did use thin set, which I like. There is
Yeah.
no mastic here. It doesn't mean they didn't use mastic here, but we do see the thin set. But what we noticed, it didn't bond to the wood.
Right.
Now, he's used a right product because this is not a moldable product. This is Wonderboard, actually, but you can see just how much water's got in here. It's deteriorating. Look how
Oh
wet
my
it is.
God.
That's definitely an issue. It's soaking wet. Oh, look at this.
Oh my God.
That was in the wall.
Soaked. So it's actually holding it in.
That's on the other side of the floor. Look at the water in there.
That is unbelievable.
Tell me about it. Come on, I don't even see a membrane.
Well, do you want to maybe get that couple of sponges in there?
I
or
think
something?
there may be a membrane underneath it all.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.
You just didn't bring it up high enough.
Well, the water's not draining, and
Right.
but that's a joke. That water's inside the wall.
Yeah.
Now, what else is water supposed to do?
Supposed to drain towards the drain.
Yeah, well, it looks like we have the drain in the wrong spot, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
here's the lowest point right
Right.
here. We're puddling here. I've got to bring it to the drain. They had the opportunity to actually level this floor to
Yeah.
drive everything to the center, but they didn't do it.
Yeah.
This is all inexperience. They knew not to use drywall.
Yeah.
Great sign, okay? But even this wood, this board cannot get wet. This wood cannot get wet, which their knowledge was it wasn't going to bypass the tile or the grout, which
Right.
it did. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break. What they use? What is this?
It's still Wonderboard?
It's the Wonderboard. The problem is it's totally deteriorated. Once again, it's acting as a sponge and wicking it up the wall. It will
Right.
continue to wick all the way up until it finds no more.
Yeah.
Will find its way out. So we know we have water damage definitely at this area,
Yeah.
right? Which means this is going to be saturated, this is going to be saturated, and I can't wait to see the muck bath underneath this. I love this little tool.
Where's that coming from? Is that underneath?
It's all underneath it.
Oh my God. It's nuts.
Well, it's floating underneath it big time. Okay, you know what? Just come on in. We'll take turns. Carlos, you can get in here. Take the hammer, start pulling this off, pull the whole front off. We'll get the floor last, but I want to see underneath here, okay?
Okay. Oh my God.
That's exactly what I expected.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Look at the water in there. Oh my God.
Now, what don't we see?
I don't see a membrane at all.
Do you believe this? Is the
I can't.
membrane underneath this? Where is the membrane?
There's no. Did you feel membrane? Because I don't think
Now, you
there
smell
is.
that? As soon as you open that
Yeah.
up, that's heavy, right? Look at the water on the underside. Now, that's unbelievable. I can't believe that water's not downstairs.
I thought maybe a little bit of puddling in there. That's an inch of water almost.
I think we'll have to leave that just to show them they have another bathtub.
Okay.
They got their bathtub. They wanted to shower in a bathtub?
Foot soaker.
It was inside the box.
Oh, he's right, as usual. Mike was absolutely right. There's a membrane in here. I've got about 2 inches of water in this one spot.
Let's get the guys in here, let's bag it, and take it out.
Gotcha.
We'll smash and grab, let's go.
Okay.
The system is the way we've done it for years. I did it this way years ago. You know, we didn't have a proper waterproof barrier in behind the tiles. We didn't have that. It was no such thing. It was use green drywall, use your tile, and hope to hell that it doesn't get through. Point is, it gets through. Evidence is here. We have a pool under both sides of the shower stall, which is supposed to be a sit-down bench. How much is this bathroom? Slate, brand new. You're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 for a contractor to come in and do just what you see. A couple years later, here we are taking it down and doing it again. Does that make sense? To continuously take apart brand new bathrooms and find massive mold, massive problems, leaks, electrical, structural. Evidence shows they tried. I pat them on the back, but they need to learn more, so I don't have to come back and take it apart and do it again.
So they took, it looks like maybe 1.25 inch drywall screws and put it right into the old lath. This old lath, think of how old that is, that's just dry. So basically this wall is being held onto this shim right here. And look at this, I can pull this shim off with my finger.
That Slate's a heavy tile.
Insane, it just makes me sick. Adam, look at this. Look how deep this was into the ground. Look how much water is sitting there. It's all the way up to the tile. That's like 1.5 inches, buddy.
Mud.
Look at that. That's
Feel the weight of that.
Yeah.
It is soaked. That weighs about, if I were to guess, my God, that weighs about 4 pounds.
Yeah, for sure. That's the top framing here. That's not sitting on the ground. That's the top. That shows how much water was just seeping.
It's a
in there.
wick.
Unbelievable.
How much do you think that weighs? 12 pounds?
9, 10 pounds, yeah, at least 10, 12 pounds.
It's turning black, so not a good sign. Stop playing in the water. Put it up.
I'm washing my hands. Dirty bath water.
Drywall screws and all the wood. See the drywall screws? You don't use drywall screws. Drywall screws and all the wood.
Oh, you're kidding.
Wow, they're rusted to hell.
Look at that, Holmes.
Just a little wet.
Look at that.
You dick. Oh. I'm gonna have to have a bath now. This is gross.
Well, it's that time of the week.
Weak. I can serve water.
They do have the compression fitting in there, which is probably why this bathtub did not soak downstairs. Now look at that.
Hallelujah.
The plywood is not wet. It's damp. You can see that it's damp, but it's not wet.
Oh, you don't know how happy that makes me.
Well, we still show that water did penetrate, which would explain a couple of drops downstairs, and it probably went through here. We see it did penetrate there.
Oh, yeah.
And they did pull up some boards. So let's pull up the boards they pulled up. Gotta love this. These guys were smart enough to put in a 2-inch drain.
Yeah.
What's that? That's a compression
Yeah.
fitting. The compression fitting is not allowed in the floor. It must be a glued joint. You need to be able to get at, and that's the whole point. These were designed for under a cabinet, anything like that. As long as it's accessible, it's legal. It's not accessible. We had to put a shower out to get to it. So, what don't we see? No vent, no air behind water in both the shower and the sink, which means it's going to go slowly down the drain.
It's not draining.
Look at what they've done to the floor joists. He's notched out all the floor joists. Now he's created a huge structural issue for me. They've notched out the bottom of that beam. They've notched out the top of this beam.
This is gone. Look at that, Mike. It's
I know.
split.
I know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's great. Now I'm fixing structure. Now we're pulling up the whole floor. I have 2 choices. Downstairs, upstairs. This is a very expensive bathroom.
So I get this kind of panicked, kind of sick feeling every time I see the drywall dust or whatever. Just kind of triggers, I guess, the memories of what we lived through previously.
I just squeeze it. That's awesome. First and foremost, it was a semi-beautiful shower stall. Okay, now when we started opening this up, I actually knew what was going to happen, and I asked them to open up the benches on the outside. when we did that, there was this much water on both sides.
Oh my God.
Everything was so saturated that it became a wick, and it grabbed the water and pulled it into all the lumber, including, if you wanted to feel the weight of this,
Oh my God.
just feel the weight of that.
That's from inside the shower?
That's all your structure. Every piece looked like this. That's all the structure that held your shower together.
Well, I'm a little shocked about the water being there, like it's been just collecting for.
Pisses me off.
This ceiling was lower for a reason.
Right.
Okay? The toilet line actually went through under the floor joists and over to the other areas. So when you asked that contractor to raise your ceiling, what did he say?
He said no problem.
Incorrect. Here's what he did. You cannot run a 3-inch line through the floor joist, but as we continue to look through here, we see how he's notched out all the floor joists. Now he's created a huge structural issue for me.
Oh my
I
God.
have to replace all your structure in here.
Oh my God.
So how easy is that going to be? It's not. I've got to take out your cabinets downstairs. I got to drop your ceiling. I got to drop the wall. I got to find another location to bring my plumbing downstairs because you cannot run it through the floor joists.
We know nothing about this business, and you're putting your trust and your faith in people and all your money and trusting that they're going to do a good job for you.
Not to mention, your shower line has a compression fitting on the trap, and that compression fitting is not allowed in a closed-in structure such as floor joists because you can't get to it. A compression fitting is simply hand tight, right? That's got to be a glued fitting. Now let's follow that line. It runs downhill along the edge, and then it comes uphill.
Oh my God.
Not to mention, there is no air behind water, no ventilation
Right.
from the shower to the sink, no vent whatsoever. So I'm going to assume your shower drained very slow, and so did your sink.
To me, it's worth more than winning the lottery to actually have somebody who comes in and actually cares and goes to the lengths that he does to make sure that the job is done right.
We'll make it right.
Thank you so much.
Keep smiling. I'm trying.
Okay, so all I want you guys to do really, pull the plywood back. Let's move all the insulation. Make sure all the blown in is moved so that when we tear down that ceiling, it's not falling in our face.
I'm all itchy.
I know it's a crappy job, but I've got an even crappier one for you now. I'm gonna seal you guys in and you can't leave until it's done. What do you think? Good luck. Godspeed.
Let me out, please.
It's going to be a mess. Looks good. Ceiling height, we got about 2 feet in height. I think we can take down the rounded ceiling, bring it up nice and straight. The bathroom look bigger. It's a mess right now, though.
Got it. Tell me when.
Got it.
Watch his nails.
You're a cleaner. I just really wanted you to come in today to take a look at all this, just to see what you think of it. Now, we did have in-floor heating. We're going to put one back in again, if you can somehow kill this for me. And I do believe that is a direct line downstairs.
I don't know how they've tapped in. It's only a nice bathroom fan. Is that the way it was?
Mm-hmm. Now we have the junction on. Oh, it's not. Why didn't they run that line right through into the housing? Like, that's nuts.
That's silly. I just gotta find where the hell
They go.
where they go.
We have knob and tube in there, don't we?
They do. Nice little fire hazard. You see the knob and tube lines that we saw before?
The junction?
Yeah. They go into the junction, and then from the junction, they went off to the fan. Why wouldn't they just ran brand new wire?
All right.
You would never catch me doing something like this.
Right.
You don't mix the two. You go through, you explain what the problem is, and you simply rewire what needs to be rewired. You're working in this bathroom, rewire it properly. Anyway, not a big deal. We'll make it right.
I like that. Well, structurally, I've never seen an older home done like this. Normally, we're gonna see, at this age, brick is gonna be the structure and not studs. So So what they've done is continued the load of studs all the way up. We have the old plank board on the outside, and then it appears to be about a 1x8, a true 1x8, notched into the 2x4 that carries the load of the floor. I've never seen that before. You can see the floor joist just runs right out over top of it. He's kept a brake on the end of the joist just for probably breathability and keeping this piece of wood away from this in case it got wet. So, I mean, whoever built this house was a very smart person. Look at that. Full attic zone. This is under the step up.
Oh, the step up to the next level.
Yeah, like this is the bedroom in here, but here's the floor joist here, and they
Right.
have a cavity here. Very strange. Why would they step it up? Haven't got a clue. You know the can of worms saying?
Yes.
The more we open, the more we fix.
105-year-old home. You could keep going here.
101, I think it is.
101?
We know it's old. A lot older than us. I'm 22. What are you laughing at?
Sorry.
I really don't want to go through the kitchen. I want to see if we can go through just the bathroom. I do not want to take this down. Problem is, at this point here where the door is, the floor joist will run to the outside, right to the top step. It'll carry on how they did the structure out there. If we laminate, can we just laminate to here? Well, that's iffy. We actually have to carry it out as far as we can, which may mean we gotta go into the kitchen. This side's fine. I can actually pick it all up in here. What a pain in the rear this is gonna be. Pull up the rest of the boards. Just leave the last couple, especially in the two pockets, just for now. We don't have to take them out. We can use them for lights or tools. Get all the insulation out, vacuum it all up. I'm gonna go downstairs and take another look at this as to what I can do with it. Okay. Two pot lights here. It's the one by the toilet line. It's encased in the housing. Floor joists are gonna continue on to this point. This is approximately the chimneys in behind this. Like these ones I can get to. It's actually the doorway to the bathroom's about here, so now feeding underneath to carry into load. I don't even know how they did this. I don't wanna, you know, I can pull these out. That's not a big deal. Pull all that out. I'm trying to avoid this very much so. It tells me I can't avoid it. You know what? While you're here, do you mind removing a couple of these things?
I think I can handle it.
This is a real pain in the rear.
Go back as far as possible. Like it's just the hooking in here, right? Like it's gonna be almost impossible.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Nice. We got lucky. We were able to not open the ceiling at this point. It's not ruled out yet, but I was trying like hell not to damage the kitchen to do this work. So pull the whole floor, try and fit everything in place. We will continue doing what we're doing. As soon as we're done the laminating process, Martin's gonna come back in, get all the rough in, we'll sheet the floor, and then we can start building the walls, bring back in Frank, bring Martin back in, continue the roughing of the plumbing up from the floor, with two fingers crossed that we don't pull that ceiling down downstairs, and I'm trying very hard not to do that. All the rough-in plumbing is done. It took the guys quite a long time to do, simply because it was a disaster. Studded the walls, brought them out exactly the way I wanted them now that we're 16-inch on center. Got the floor sheeted, nice and strong, hey? That's nice and strong. How's the ceiling? Is it level?
The ceiling is all over the place. It bellies in the middle here.
You might as well pull them out. Give us an nailing edge across the edge. I'm fine with this. We'll stay this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
2x4, line it up with this. We gotta look at 29 inches from the wall to the edge of the toilet, and that's based on a probably elongated.
Because I did look into ordering a smaller toilet for in here because of this wall coming in.
Well, we'll just get the, what's the toilet I
American
like?
Standard.
Well, I know it's American Standard. It's, what is it? Oh, whatever, it flushes.
Yeah, yeah.
This hole is for plumbing vent. Martin has been good enough to pre-drill the wood deck to locate where this flashing is going to be installed. So what we want here is at least 6 inches up off the roof line from the flashing at the short side, which is the back side. That's the minimum code. Here we have, approximately 8-10 inches. Good amount. That way, if there's snow on the roof and such, it can't build up over and close off this pipe, because we need that vented because it puts air behind the water. That's it.
Each fixture has to have its own vent. Eventually, you're allowed to connect them together as long as you are above the flood level rim of the fixture that is being vented. Now, the flood level rim, it is pretty much the height of the fixture. It's the point at which the water starts overflowing onto the floor. If we had this connected at the lower level, below the flood level rim, and if there was any blockage in a drain pipe, the water would start flowing or filling the vent system, and it would never actually overflow through a pedestal sink. So you would never know that you have an actual blockage in your drain pipe.
Okay, guys, do me a favor, get the drywall up on the ceiling. Alex will be in soon to get the spray foam in place. Now, what I'm doing here is judging where exactly this wall of glass is going to be, where the shower is, because I want to build a wall off of here, return it in with a bench here, and what that does is allows me to cover up the base of this chimney, which I still have to talk to Alex whether or not we're going to spray foam this, but to give me an insert cabinet that we're going to custom make to go in here, so it doesn't close off the whole bathroom. I don't want to come directly out from this wall here and make the bathroom more shallow. I want to step it in so I don't have this issue. It's not like I'm going to build a curb here in the bathroom and cover that. That's an ugly thing. So I've got to incorporate it into a custom cabinet that everything looks proper. If I start off with a starter strip and base it off my squared wall in the back, I can now square the shower stall, and off of that, I'll square off and build this wall, because I never trust interior walls. I trust what we put up. By having my plate across the floor, which will be coming up, this is just for square, gives me a temporary setup to put this piece in place, and this wall now becomes square. That's what I'm doing, is doing this, right?
Yeah.
That allows me a finished wall here, allows me to come up across here, and now I can tie into this wall.
Right.
It just strengthens everything. That is on the money. So this serves two purposes. One, gives us a straight edge to actually screw any bracing in for our glass unless they go direct to tile. Secondary and most important that I see is now it secures the corner and keeps us 100% true.
He's gonna get more lumber. I'll be right back.
Curb for our shower. They give it holes on the underneath side here. What we do is we fill them with thin set. I'm then going to take this bucket of water here we have in a rag. I'm going to actually wash this down, get all loose dirt, dust, whatnot off the floor. Thin set will not bond properly to dirt, obviously, so we want to get that up. And it also, what it'll help do also is wet the floor, because you're putting it right on a subfloor. That's plywood. Wood tends to suck moisture out of anything that goes on it. Dampen it. It's already moist. Put your thin set down, keeps the thin set moist, helps bond everything better.
It's 15 and a half exactly here.
That's good right there.
Yeah.
Ooh, Pinky, you're good.
No, you're good.
When you're doing new heat, you want to make sure you get it in properly. You don't want to just throw down your thin set, place your pad exactly where the high traffic area is going to be.
Looks good.
Yeah, got the curtain done yesterday. We kept it a foot off like you wanted. We have the new heat under here. It's just being protected.
I like that, and we're gonna test it before. Actually, we'll put down the Dietra and then test it.
All right.
That's the way we want to do a proper shelf. We're gonna use the shower tray, so that's gonna bring us to about here. We'll fill the back, and then obviously the side.
Right.
It doesn't matter as long as we have the slope to the drain. That's all we really care about. And we have the curdy drain with us, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have everything we need.
Good. Let's get at it. All we have to remember is if we have one surface that is porous, then we use modified, because that means it's going to absorb the water that's within the modified, and it's more adhesion as the modified. That's what we want on the floor. When we have two surfaces that are non-porous, such as the curdy or the tray and the tile, that's when we use, so non-porous, non-modified. So I have the high side here, a low side here, and I'll build that up with an inset. This is just acting as a filler. Once again, lower than this, and we will build up that angle. Tell me when you're good.
Dave, Pinky, you're going to do your first Dietra with me. When you're applying your mortar, keep it in the same direction. You can apply it this way and that way as long as you just pull it all back the same way. I want
At
it.
the end, finish it.
Exactly. If you butt it up to the other sheet, actually, we'll be fine. Very good job.
Thank you.
I normally scratch coat all the tile that I put on. But this is a heavy slate tile with a smooth surface on the back. It's always good to put a bond coat on the tile before you put it on the wall. Then you have nice coverage when you push it on to spread the mud around. And it helps it to stick to the wall better, especially when we're going to be putting weight on top with heavy tiles as we go. It just gives it a better bond. To me, it is more important on figuring out what you're going to make this look like than it is just finishing the bathroom. Because one, your signature's on it, right? At the end of it, if it doesn't look good, no one's going to like it. You spend that extra little time. I don't care if it takes a day. I really don't. Because once it's down, your layout's ready, you go at it. Lay it out, plan it out. You're going to have a beautiful, beautiful bathroom if you care and you try hard. That's what we do. Nice character, eh? Slate that's been in the ground for millions and millions of years. Who would have thought? Something tells me this is gonna look good.
It's turning out really well. It's nice marble.
Not bad for Slate.
No, not bad for Slate.
And how high is the door?
Door's 80 inches high, right here. That's why we put the 3 hinges on here. Gives it more stability and actually looks nice too.
Perfect. Oh, so you got a countersink, you got all drill set up, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Building is so much fun. Looks like it was factory made. just tack it right there. Who wants ice cream? Boy, black is like a black car here. I really gotta polish it, make sure nothing's on it. This just makes it shine nice because I want it to look good. All right, I'm gonna go get them. Sometimes it's the little things we do that make a difference. Small bathroom, it's easy, nice finish, homeowners are extremely happy. I mean, that's our job, is to make people's dreams come true.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Holy smokes.
Well, it is a simple bathroom, it's not
Oh
a Taj
my
Mahal.
God. That looks amazing. It looks so good.
How do you like the red with the black?
It looks fantastic. It's beautiful.
It's not like they hired a contractor that didn't care about them. It's obvious they tried. They used products that were somewhat proper, but in the wrong order. Now, this slate, okay, is from Brazil. And this slate is almost 100% non-porous, so it's not going to be an issue for absorbing. I talk about this day in and day out. If you're going to make a watertight system, it must be waterproof. You cannot rely on ceramic in itself. You cannot rely on slate in itself or any type of tile. You have to have a backer, and that backer is a waterproof membrane. The membrane that we have underneath this, even if it did get through it, it's not going to penetrate. Their downfall was putting the membrane at the bottom and then building on top of it. Even still, this is not going to solve problems. If you notice, they used a tile backer board, but even that product absorbed water. The wood absorbed water so much, it couldn't hold any more water. That small piece of 2x4 that weighed about 5 pounds was all water. Perfectly sloped with a foam-based tray, foam-based curb, and totally strong. This is no wood in there. There's nothing in there that's gonna be an issue to absorb. So all the right products, works all the right ways, and you're not gonna be having a bath in your shower anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, think about it. If you're in a boat, little rowboat, okay, and you throw in a bunch of sponges, okay, it's gonna grab the water, isn't it? It's gonna hold on to that water, and it's eventually gonna fill the boat up. Wonderful rain shower head.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
The Panasonic fan that is a light and a fan. And that is one of the best fans on the market. You can see the wonderful arm on the wall, so you can shower from the rain head as well as using the wand to separate it. So you have your diverter, you have the toe tester on the bottom, a proper bench. Okay, that's a full one piece in there.
Cool.
The homeowners don't know how to do the work, because if they did, they do it themselves. They're relying on a supposed professional to come in and do the job right. So if they don't know, maybe they need to educate themselves just a little more to see what they need within that bathroom so they're able to talk to contractors and question them.
It looks so big.
It does look bigger, doesn't it?
It's a small bathroom, but it looks
Take
so
away
much
the
bigger.
upper bulk, and that's really gonna make a
You know what? I
difference.
forgot the ceilings are curved now.
Yeah.
Did you notice? We ripped it all out. I
Yeah.
brought in Alex, we spray foamed everything, made it wall tight. We can make a difference by trying harder. It is your home. Do you want it done right? You're gonna have some work to do. This is not easy. It's not as simple as picking up the phone and saying, hey, I need a new bathroom. It's not simple. I brought in Martin and Adam and my plumbers, and they were awesome. Redone all the plumbing right from the stack at that point. You're gonna have to go through the process. Phone them up. How long you been in the business? Are you licensed? Are you insured? And structured. We were able to structure from in, and that was a hard job to restructure this floor. I'm not kidding you, but it's restructured, it's redone. Do you do bathrooms? And if so, can I go see some? Do you have some numbers I can call to check you out? If you follow this process, odds are you're not gonna lose. Frank and his boys came in, Joe, and they ran all new electrical. There was a lot of problems with the electrical. We found a junction point up here. We actually found a couple of them. They took care of a lot of the knob and tube that was left here from, I guess, obvious people from before.
Right.
We put in new heat, which is a fabulous system. It's extremely efficient for electric and floor heating. But this is the new toy that I like. Just pushing your buttons, the lights come on.
Oh, cool.
And we tested it. It just heated it up so much we had to open the windows so we were hot in here when we were working. And we had to cool it. Isn't that nice?
That's wicked.
I mean, word of mouth is good, but was it enough? No. Did they finish the job? Yes. Did they do it right? No. Who paid for it in the end? The homeowner. Well, I think I've kept you late enough, and you can shower. Not tonight. You're gonna have to wait until tomorrow to play on it. My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
It's great.
I get to give him a hug.
Until I get paid.
I'm so happy, and it looks better than I ever expected. It's fantastic. I love this. It's amazing. It's storage. Finally, this tiny bathroom finally gets storage. It feels so big. I still get the pangs of anxiety every time I see a construction site from our bad experience before, but I mean, this is absolutely worth it. Worth everything. It's fantastic. So Mike, we wanted to give you guys something special too, because you've done so much hard work on the bathroom.
Wow.
So we've got St. Mike in his glory and all of his crew around him.
Look at this. There's Uncle Billy.
Billy holding a sock.
Brian. Look at Adam.
And this is the evil contractor.
Oh, we can't eat this.
Oh.
Can I keep this? Oh, you got a picture.
Extra one.
From St. Mike and his angels. Thanks for making it
Call me
right.
if you want to know where to get that.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Wait a minute, I gotta come over and kiss you.
Yeah, I did another.
I gotta do this right the first time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Essentially, it's a new home. It's a home that's under 10 years old.
2 thumbs up for using spray foam, 2 thumbs down for not doing it right.
Until the pipes burst, had no idea that the water pipes ran across the front porch.
Evidence is here. Proof's in the pudding. It froze.
He was as in much shock as I was when I saw what was up there.
And you know what? Pull the rest of it down.
All right.
When in doubt, call Mike.
Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. If you're going to do it right the first time. Let's get rid of it. How do you do this to a family? Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Oh, my God. On the money. 2, 3.
Oh my God!
Perfect.
Thank you guys.
You like it?
Oh, do I ever?
Moved in on, I think, the hottest day of the year. It was the end of August, and noticed right away how hot it was upstairs. You know, chalked that up to being a day where the doors were open, everybody's moving furniture in and out, and didn't really pay much mind to it.
9-year-old home. Fairly brand new. And you would think that buying a brand new home, you're not gonna have issues. When Jane bought this house, she's the second owner, so somewhere within the 9 years that she bought it, happened to be the hottest day of the year. Room over the garage, master bedroom, ensuite. Extremely hot.
Then it got cold. We suffered through our first winter. It was so cold, and that master bedroom is so cold upstairs that it really became a problem.
Jane?
Hi.
Nice to see you again. How you
Welcome
doing?
back.
Why,
How are
thank
you?
Bit of a plumbing problem, I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I call it more of a disaster than a problem. The pipes froze in that bathroom upstairs off the ensuite, and that was our first experience with frozen pipes. Called the builder, and the builder was pretty clear that we were outside the warranty and there wasn't much we could do.
When Jane bought this house, she still had a new home warranty, about a month left. It doesn't matter, that runs out. You know, the 2 years, once that goes by, you know, all hell starts to break loose. Do they come back? Well, they did. They came back. And what'd they say?
The suggestion at the time, as silly as it sounds, was a hot water bottle. To heat a hot water bottle and keep it on the cold tap.
Put on that hot water bottle on the taps. It'll keep it from freezing. Okay.
It has burst, and I've got damage on all 3 floors of the home.
And my challenge at the moment is trying to figure out how we're going to prevent these pipes from doing the same thing. When the soffits were pulled back to have a peek at the damage and have a peek at getting some repair done on those pipes, it became really clear to me that there was a major flaw with the design of the house and that those pipes had no business being where they were.
All right, we have our pipes come up from the basement, obviously through the corner bulk.
The insurance company has come in and they brought in a contractor to have a look at what needed to be repaired. They made their assessment and they've been very agreeable to covering the damages from the burst pipes. However, the problem that caused the damage in the first place had to be repaired first.
Great comment for the insurance company. But let's remember something. They're protecting themselves. They don't want to have to come back and pay for this problem again.
Boy, I'm gonna have to open all this up.
You know, we're supposed to learn from all our mistakes in the history of home building and keep our plumbing on the inside, the warm side.
We have
Show
a
you
second
mine.
floor laundry. I hate that. Okay, what's this?
My lovely experience with the plumber on my bathroom that had the first leak about 2.5 years ago. Noticed a little bit of water draining in the basement on the floor and checked around, called a plumber, and he determined that there was probably a leak with my second-story bathroom. The leak was in here with this pipe. The following day, the leak had not been fixed, so called in another plumber. Had several plumbers come in and tell me they had fixed the problem. He put a silicone on the pipe, and the following day, the hole was drywalled up, and away we go. And sure enough, a few days later, the leak's back in the basement again. On the third occasion, realized the problem wasn't fixed, so as opposed to opening up the drywall again, just decided to leave it as was and use our other bathroom. When this bathroom became unusable, I had to get this one fixed right away. Finally found a plumber who came in and fixed the problem.
So are you washing yourself in the sink or what?
He spent several hours finding the correct pipe and had to replace it, obviously, and looked at the pipe that was there currently, and it was just choked full of silicone. And this is the bathroom that caused all of the problem in the first place.
Well, it's not bad at all.
Right.
Soaker tub. Problem is, I feel the floor, it's cold and it's not freezing outside.
That's right.
How's your bedroom?
It's freezing. I went through 4 plumbers who came and looked at the damage and looked at the reason for the damage in the first place with those pipes, and none of them could help me. It was a job beyond their capability, and it was either too difficult to do, it was too expensive. I had quotes anywhere from 22 grand right up to $40,000.
$40,000 to fix this problem? You gotta be kidding me. That's an awful lot of money. What are you gonna do? Gut the bathroom? You don't have to. You gotta open up drywall, reroute, and I don't care where it's right from the basement up. Open up, reroute it, close it up.
Why do we have such a spaghetti?
Well, this was the shut-off valve that needed to be inserted so that I could get water to the rest of the house. Suddenly I became very anxious because this had major implication for the value of the home, the continuation of insurance on the home, and getting some functionality back in the home that my kids and I live in, and to get some water back in that bathroom.
I hate washers and dryers on the second floor. How's yours? Does it vibrate the house when it goes?
The whole house moves when the washing machine moves.
They weren't designed to go on a minimum structured floor.
Right.
Concrete is a
Right.
different story. So I always want them downstairs. I don't know if you want to talk about that and maybe change it.
Sure.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah. Having gone through this experience, anything I can do to minimize my risk for further damage to the house, I'm willing to listen to. It just frustrates me beyond belief that we don't have that kind of recourse or someone to go to or a primary point of contact when you have these really significant issues that pop up with these. Essentially, it's a new home.
Looks like we're going to be looking at a lot of your plumbing. But by the time I'm done, you won't have to worry about it again, okay?
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
Let me get everybody together on this one. We'll be back. We're going to make a mess,
Perfect.
but we'll clean it up.
Thanks.
Thank you. Why do my pipes bang? They're not secured.
Flannel sheets became the order of the day with lots of blankets, and just became a way of life for us in that part of the house upstairs.
We have a bit of a plumbing story here. And obviously, you can see from the outside that they ran exterior copper plumbing,
Yeah.
and that's just not allowed. But they
Right.
tried to cover it up with spray foam,
Yeah.
which, to the best of their ability, wrong spray foam. We're gonna open up the channel, see where the lines go. I think I'm gonna move the laundry room down to the basement because it's a rock and roll thing when
Right.
she uses it in the house, and
Right.
nobody seems to understand
Shaking.
that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna be pulling down the ceiling in the garage and
Okay.
insulating properly
Right.
because the bedroom is cold room.
Right.
Okay, it's made out of 2x2, so we're gonna have a 2x2 frosting here. We'll see them, we'll hit them, we'll pull them all out. Why come up with 4 lines? I mean, independently, if we come up with too hot and too cold, it's a great idea because you're keeping the pressure balance within the home. But minimum code says you don't have to do that. They could just run up with 2, tee off it, and continue running all your supplies. Why 4? And they were capped off in here. Oh, that's why. They ran up new lines. Now that makes sense. The 2 are existing. They ran up 2 more to keep it independent to feed the rest of the house and
Right.
separate from that bathroom. It's probably to our benefit anyways to pull a ceiling in the garage, not just
Okay.
for spray foam, but possible reroute.
Have you seen it in there?
Yeah. All right, let's empty the garage, keep everything that's on the wall, and that way maybe we can plastic it up. Anything that's on the floor, we'll pull it out.
Okay.
And we're gonna need about 2 feet in the front to hit the wall on this angle. Right now, I just wanna see what's up there and how we can work with it. There's stuff everywhere. Dear. I think we found your wagon. Throw your tools in it. I used to be able to ride them very well.
I know. I'm gonna be out of work for 6 months.
Good idea. Okay, if you want to keep doing this, I'm gonna start taking down the yellow spray foam to
Okay.
do further inspections.
All right.
You can see that the plumbing pipes come out of the wall here. This is more than likely the area they froze. I don't see any spray foam whatsoever in the end void there. That end void is completely open. It's just gonna bring in an outside cool draft, which freezes your pipes. They can take a lot of cold. They can't take the cold draft. The problem with this spray foam, and I love spray foam, this is not an air barrier. This is a great foam that you can spray in the wall. It is required to have a vapor barrier, but let's remember something. Vapor barrier is supposed to be on the warm side. In this case, that's the top side. Minimum code states the OSB sheeting on the floor, which you see right there, is the equivalent to a vapor barrier. So they sheet the floor. That's supposed to be the equivalent for that plastic air stoppage. Bring the pipes down, spray it. But air will get through this. This is not a hard product, not like the wall tape that we use all the time. With the open cavities within it, you're gonna get that breeze in there, but that wasn't the problem. It's definitely this corner. You can see they tried to somewhat do it right. Are we allowed to run our copper exterior? No. Cover it up with spray foam, hope to hell. Keep your fingers crossed that it doesn't freeze, but everyone's been complaining about their pipes freezing for the last how many years on this street? Which means everyone's been run the same way, which means they got away with it. I don't have too many choices here. I can bring as much inside as possible. I'm still gonna have it in the floor joists. We can spray the foam around it on the inside, which A, protects the floor, and B, protects the pipe, and then hit it nice and deep on the outside to protect it completely, which is what I'm gonna have to do. I didn't design this house. I didn't build this house. But I'm fixing this house. Okay, so pull down that piece. You gotta love it. Oh, they spray foam.
Oh, they did. Solid.
They tried to do it better. Maybe what we can do is build it down with some 2x4s across the floor joists.
Yeah.
Cover it with the wall tight. It'll help do it, but I'll bet you the cold's coming from the front wall.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, all right. They attempted that too.
No, but if you see here, Mike, if you look this way, that's their inside wall, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, that's stupid.
There, I
How is
know.
that ever stupid? You go to all that extreme and you spray the front and they
miss
leave
this.
that void.
And one void.
You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Yeah, I got yours. Okay.
pull down that, pull down that. You can hit everything from this point. How do you do this? You go above code by putting in spray foam. Great. But you miss some of the most important spots. Facing the front of the floor, which that cold draft is gonna make that floor cold. It's gonna travel right across the ductwork area here and penetrate upwards, which we're gonna take down next, and not face the front of that. My God, you got the spray foam? Hit it. You do something half-ass, and it doesn't work. There's problems. People like me gotta come in, pull it out, figure out what the hell's wrong, where do we have problems? So it's not just copper, it's cold. Nice, not nice enough.
It's a poor installation. I mean, the installation doesn't look too bad. It's just the guy who's doing it should have taken a little more care.
So they go ahead and spray foam it, but the guy who spray foam it gets paid per house. Let's remember that. He comes in here and he's just gonna quickly spray it. Do you think he cares about these voids across here like this? Obviously not. I have a question. Now, I know code, and code says we can't screw through timber strand or any type of beam, okay, to run our pipes. But I don't think we can run plumbing on-site.
We can't.
Okay, they did in all these houses.
Are we doing the entire neighborhood here? Or?
No, shh, I'm telling you, this is bad enough. It froze here, it froze there, and it also froze inside. And what I want to do, here's my problem. The tub's right here. You see that void right there?
Yeah.
There's the tub.
Oh, man.
And it just had a skim coat over it. Can you imagine how cold that tub was? They sprayed this side so good. See that corner there?
Yeah.
No spray foam in the corner. That's where the pipes are. Obviously, it froze. But as we go inside, now you're gonna see some things. What they did, and I figured this out after a while, they ran 2 extra lines up and capped off the lines that are outside to separate the front bathroom from everything else, and then put 150,000 taps downstairs to shut it off, which, wait, I'll show you this. What we need to do, because you know what I'm like here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to fix all this. I guess figure out hot and cold, tie it all back in again, insulate it all properly, and then close it off. Here, they had another problem, which was from before. It was leaking actually through the drainage, the vent stack line here, and they put in a Fernco fitting. So I have issues with insulation here that I've now got to fix, so I'll get that insulated closed to the best I can. I mean, unless I rip that bathroom apart, that's going to be an issue for me. So I'll do what I can here. Upstairs, now we're gonna have to inspect those lines that these did not freeze and break, because there's no sense in doing all our work and closing it back in, and we have broken lines here. So we'll inspect this, and I'm trying like hell not to disrupt this bathroom. Fix everything from underneath. The laundry room is out in the hall, and I would like to put the laundry room downstairs. We'll carry the machines down, punch a hole in the wall, cap the drain, cap the exhaust to the dryer, and she can use it as a storage room, which I think she needs, because we picked up
It'll be a lot more practical, yeah.
Yeah, it just makes sense to me. And we do have the room downstairs. Actually, let's go take a look.
Does this, do we have a floor drain here that we need to cap off as well?
No.
No floor drain?
No floor drain, no tray, no nothing.
But what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna cut those pipes as high as I can. I don't feel confident leaving any of this existing piping in there.
Good.
So I'll just run my own copper. I have my own joints, I'll have my own connections. I'll make sure everything's done my way, and we'll fix it. We'll make
Then I'll
right.
do it my way.
And then you'll do it your way, yeah.
I'll close it in properly.
You close it in properly, yeah.
Even though it's wrong, we'll make it right.
Exactly.
What we're going to do is we're going to run 2x4s opposite way. We're going to tag into the area where the ductwork is, because that gives me structural support to hold the new ceiling. By running all our 2x4s this way, not only do we level the ceiling coming down from the ductwork, it allows the spray foam to go up and blanket everything above it.
I'm looking for studs right now. When I use my stud finder, I'm only getting about a 1/2 inch to 3/4, which from my experience so far is either plumbing or wiring. So I don't want to screw into that just in case, because I've had bad experiences with water spraying under the wall.
Now, as we measure, and we're gonna go across 16-inch on center, I wanna block each end. So once we've got them all in, I wanna block it 14.5 in between, and all it's gonna do is strengthen it, and then we will cut vertical pieces to tie in and structure and hold the center on both ductwork areas. But let's make sure when we go vertical, we actually tag into the floor joist and into the ductwork and into our ceiling, okay? Let's do them all the same. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 187 3/4. Okay. From now on, I'm bringing my own drill. It's not that I don't like your drill, Pinky. I just feel.
Don't overthink the pink.
I feel emotional at this point. What did you say about your drill?
Told you not to overthink the pink.
Interesting. Don't overthink the pink. Well, my room's cold. Well, we used spray foam, but we didn't do it right. I had Martin come in and fix all the plumbing, make sure everything was good. We just did the final test today. Now, you say we can go over this, right?
Yeah, that's no problem.
Now, you said this was 2 pound?
No, this half-pound foam.
Half-pound?
Yep. The half-pound foam is about 4 times lighter than the 2-pound foam.
It's
like
very
wall
light,
tight.
yeah.
Very light, soft.
Can air get through it?
If improperly installed, yeah, it can. That's
Like
what happened here, yeah.
None in the end there?
Yeah, the end's totally void, totally missed, and then you got some separation up here. We got some airflow coming through these joist ends. So I would highly recommend we pull that out. Make sure we got a very good seal there.
On the outside edge.
On the outside.
And we can leave the rest in?
We'll leave the rest in. We'll butt up to it. We'll seal up the cracks here. This looks pretty good, okay? But over here, that's where the problem area is, and that's why this pipe's burst.
One of the first times I've ever seen this, when we pulled down the drywall, they actually used the spray foam up there. Do you think, I don't, that this is good enough that they just spray the floor joists and then drywall over it? It's better than bad.
It's better than bad. It creates a decent seal. The thing with the half pound is that it expands like a lot. 150 times its liquid volume as it, whereas 2-pound foam 30 times its liquid volume. It expands so rapidly that it'll basically dry up, and if you don't lick the edges, if you don't get the edges wet, it doesn't stick as well as the urethane you're used to.
As we're seeing on some of the areas where it hits the joists.
And then where it sticks to itself. The thing is, like 150 times the liquid volume, you can imagine, okay, you've got something at 140 to 150 degrees, has the chemical reaction, okay, heat expands, that chemical reaction produces a lot of heat, and when it comes back to ambient temperature, right, it's gonna shrink because it cools down. Anything hot's gonna shrink, doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so therefore when it cools down, it's gonna, but with urethane, it shrinks as well, but it's got a lot more dimensional stability, which can resist the shrinkage and span that space. Poly this floor, poly the walls in here, cocoon it, okay, and then spray it. Couple inches of foam over top all this half pound here. Okay, he wants to make sure all the joints and seams are all sealed off. Wrap these bulkheads, okay? Bring the foam across this plate right here, that 2x4. Yep. Wrap it around, seal it to this foam here, seal any penetrations that are in this foam right here. Okay. Seal this half pound up to the top, up to the other side of that roof there. Okay, so you want a couple inches there to seal that all off. The back side of this knee wall needs to be sprayed so there's no air gaps there. The block? Yep, block. Inch of foam will be fine there, just to air seal it. These joist pockets right there. Fill the bottom, fill the sides in here. Okay. The same thing on the other side.
No way, check this out. Hey guys,
Yo!
take a look at this.
Rob, this is beautiful, man. What year is that?
50.
A 50.
Look at that. This would look great in the back of my truck. Let's go to work.
Okay,
thanks,
good
man.
tour.
Lock it in. I'm done. How about you?
We do have enough room in the basement. There is a laundry.
It's
there's a
huge.
laundry tub.
Yep.
There's enough space. We do have a water supply there.
Yeah.
There's a drain right next to it, so
Why not?
It is a convenient place
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay?
Yeah. Hang on. Not too high.
Just cut out the opening so that I can get direct access to the hot and cold
Okay.
copper. If you can create a window for me,
Okay.
it gives me good enough access for the water as well as the drain.
Let's measure up the next one, Damon.
Yep.
And we'll stagger it. Yeah, let's stagger it. We'll cut off the end.
All right. Ready, boys?
Thank you.
So 20 inches by 4 feet, 32 inches by 4 feet, 93 inches by 19. Now, even though we have spray foam the ceiling, which really what that's going to do is stop all off-gassing from your automobiles, not to mention keep the floor warm, we want to make sure 5/8 of an inch drywall or at least a high-density ceiling board. Now, I'm happy with 5/8. It's a great fire rating. We want to make sure that we have 2 coats of plaster. If you notice, a lot of the builders are getting away with 1 coat. We want the 2. The 2 is going to stop any chance of the fumes from the vehicles getting in the house. This is a huge addition to stopping that. But we still have to look at the drywall. Let's make sure we put up the 2 coats, and that's exactly what we'll do. We'll make sure it's airtight and warm.
Oh, the light is perfect.
What I've done here is I've taken the plug off and I've tied in all the wires in together, that if for any reason they power this up downstairs, it's gonna trip the breaker because we don't want this to liven up. I've pulled it also out of the breaker downstairs, but you never know. And also dead shorted it downstairs. Now, even though I turned the power off downstairs, I'm still double checking to make sure that the power is off. There we go. So if anybody livens this up downstairs, it's gonna blow the breaker.
We gotta take care of some stuff in the backyard.
I know you said there's something wrong with one of the downpipes.
Yeah.
Please show me.
Might have been good for wine at some point, but it's not very efficient for raining now.
No.
This pipe, that's not how we do things.
No, it's
Water flows downhill when it needs to be on the outside. But other than being loose, the thing with downpipes, as you know, Mike, you gotta check the back of them. Seams are blown.
Oh, it froze.
Yeah. This is just a little thing, you know, fixing the pipe. We've got a couple other little things we're gonna do. The loose spikes in the trough. And she's gonna love this rain barrel. It's so efficient.
It looks good. I saw a little tap on the bottom. It's
Yep.
got the overflow on the top.
Yep.
And that way you can attach it to another barrel.
It's got a screen as well, so it keeps all the debris out.
And because of the screen, no mosquitoes.
That's right.
I want your truck. Just to put in the back of mine. That's all I just want it to sit there. I think it'd be cute. I'll put my tailgate down.
We're all done the soffit ceiling.
Looks brand new. I like it. You growing?
Yeah, I've been working out, eh?
You've been working out?
Yeah.
Got a little height on you?
A little bit. About 6 inches taller.
7 1/4. You buy a brand new home? No worries, right? Everything should be great. Laundry on the second floor, not an issue. Pipes exterior running on the house, won't freeze, right?
It really frustrated me that I didn't know about this ahead of time. I could have made an informed decision years ago about how I wanted to fix that problem to prevent the pipes from bursting and resulting in all the damage that it did in this house. But I didn't know it was there.
If it's built right the first time, you don't have these problems. That's bottom line. If you do your corner bead right, create a nice true edge that protects the corner. You want to make sure it's not out too far, but you're in enough. This way, when you put your trowel across it, you have a perfect edge for plaster. And that this edge here does not come lower than the outside edge. See that? That's perfect. Just the way I want it. Now, this is the Durabond. It's not sandable, so you want to put it on nice and smooth and maybe tool it afterwards. In other words, scrape it. Bring it up about 6 inches. Remember, it is just the first. And by using the Durabond, this is a really hard initial first coat. After this, we'll go to compound. If you've done your corner bead correctly, it's just a perfect true corner. You will not see the upside of it. That's the idea, bringing that corner out just far enough to exceed on both top and bottom. Works perfect. It ties in, this gives you a perfect corner. You know, like plastering, corner bead is an art in itself. If you do it wrong, the end result is gonna look like crap. I just need you to do something for Joe. Do we have any 2x6s with us by chance?
I don't. Yes, we have a few underneath the bin.
It's just a small piece.
Yeah.
If we can run a 2x6 down here, somehow mount it at the top, do a 2x4 plate and come into it.
Okay.
And run it right down tight to the corner, fill a filler strip, a 2x4, and then tack on it and screw it into that, and that way we bring it out in front of the insulation. That way he can do his dryer plug, receptacle plug for this. I'd appreciate that if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
We're more than a meter away from the laundry tub, so we're within code not having to put a GFI receptacle. So we're gonna put it up higher, and if she needs to do any ironing or anything like that, she'll still have half the receptacle that she can gain access to. On a dryer box like this, you need to support it on 2 sides, because imagine it's a big plug, so when you plug it in, and if you need to unplug it, if I just had the 2 screws here, this is gonna rip off the wall. So 2 screws, screw in the back, that's not going anywhere.
I'm learning. Hey, Joe, I got your chair.
Oh, got mine? Like, oh.
No, it's a little chair.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's even got a hole for your hammer.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. See? That's perfect for you, eh? You could do electrical, receptacle.
Plugs,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Except for panels and
Put some
switches.
wheels on it, sideways. I'm just trying to think ahead. I'm just trying to give you some ideas for your tools.
So 120 there, 120 there, and we should have 240. Good there.
We can't really insulate the corner. It is insulated. It is minimum code because the vapor barrier is on the inside and the piping is on this side of the vapor barrier. So let's just make sure there's no holes in the plastic whatsoever. Let's get some batt insulation down there, the Roxel, so it's fire rated. But getting up in between the floor joists here is crucial. We're gonna have to make sure we get the tuck tape up in there because we're not gonna get the caulking guns in there. So tuck tape the plastic to all the floor joists, the floor, and down the side as best you can. It wouldn't hurt to add a piece of batt insulation. It's not necessary, but it wouldn't hurt to put a piece in there if you can fit them. Just make sure all the vapor barriers sealed. Let's get ready to drywall this back in again. Now, give yourself a nailing edge on this side or cut the drywall back. Cut the drywall down at this point here. Try not to cut the plastic, get new insulation in the wall, plastic it up, and drywall it again. So take out this piece, take out the side piece, make sure everything's fine.
And get the insulation up.
Yeah, because we do have the rigid foam on the outside, so just pull that, cut it clean, and get some insulation in there. Make sure everything is tucked tape and closed off, and then that void on the outside edge is perfect. Because we have all our pipes up in there, so someone's gonna have to reach up and in and make sure it's sealed, okay? Get it done, guys. Hurry.
Get her done.
Get her done.
I'm not a model. There's more to me than just looking good. You're great outside and inside. You can get on a plane in Alaska and get off in Florida, you're set. One pair of pants.
Last day, we got everybody doing everything. We got the bros coming in to do the duct work for the dryer. We're setting up for the trim on the inside. Craig is also in to do the painting because we got a little bit of a sanding paint in this room, and the idea is to match it. How you doing, Craig? Nice to see you, man. Good morning. Pinky?
Good morning.
So everything was plastered and primed and ready to go. Because you can feel the grit in this, eh?
Yeah, the sand in it.
So he's going to do a real trick to show how to make this look
I want
better.
to see it. It's gonna be good.
We'll get the trim on the windows.
Yeah, Adam's just starting that now, and Pete's doing it with him, and then I'm just fixing any little things with dry decks.
You're the floor girl?
I'm the flaw girl.
Nice, easy one for a change, although I did call you in for a very specific reason. I brought the washer and dryer downstairs because it was upstairs on the second floor where we both hate it.
Okay.
But we have the high efficiency furnace with air in, air out right here. So, I mean, we have choices. Can we go across the other side? Can we go over and over this way? Dryer, we have to duct it out.
Well, I like to go outside and take a look. There's a couple things we have to do. We have to be about at least 3 feet away from the exhaust, okay? 3 feet away from a gas meter. If it's close to it, then we have to go on the opposite side of the house, okay? Drill a hole there and run a pipe and come down. This will probably be the best location right over here. So we'll go downstairs now.
And the further away, the better.
Yeah. Right now, if I put it right where we are right now, we are 3 feet away from the exhaust.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so
that's not going to work.
No.
We're too close to the stairs. We have a vent stack.
Yeah.
There's also a rough in for the central back up there. Yeah. We're not going to get it in there.
Looks like we're going the other side. When you get to the wood, you stop, because we're going to use a 5-inch hole saw to go through the wood, all right? All right.
A lint trap for the dryer. So what happens is when you turn the dryer on, you got your lint trap that's on your dryer. This is just an extra one. And what you do is you lift this up and you pull this out, and there's another screen here. So when the lint comes up through the pipe, it doesn't clog the vent that's outside.
it. Okay, good to go. The dilemma we had on this job was that they had to cut out some drywall and skim it. So we have a flat surface here. We've got a sand texture finish here. So we have to figure out how to bridge the gap and make a nice seam between the two. So what I'm doing is I'm just rolling the flat with a untinted sand mixture to build this section of the wall up. After I've built this section up, I'll roll the whole wall with the sand mixture so we have a completely level surface. Then we'll top coat it with paint and sand. We've blended, it's looking great.
Simple shelf. Very strong. Okay, as soon as we just wipe down the doors, I'll go get her. Hey, Jane.
Hi.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's okay. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty damn good. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
Well, this is not, it's not too often that I finish a place and it's not, oh my God.
This is awesome.
Well, it's cleaner. It's only plastered.
Sure
It's not
is.
prime, but it shows my guys are really good at plastering. So once we pulled it all down, what did I find? I found that they actually used half-pound spray foam. I was impressed. There's a problem with it.
Okay.
Okay, it shrinks. When it shrinks, it separates from the floor joist and creates cracks.
I bet that's why my bedroom was so cold.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't stop air. It's
No.
not like a vapor barrier, and it just allows that cold air right back in again. So what we did do, because the two duct lines that led to your window were right here, we actually lowered your ceiling down below that point, and we brought in the wall tight. Alex did this, and we call it buttering. And it just buttered right across everything. So what it does is seals it airtight. So there's two purposes here. One, definitely, we want to make your bedroom warm, okay?
Thank you.
And two, it stops all car gases from getting in. This is a great example of trying to build better. This builder actually went beyond minimum code. We see the thermal break on the outside. Is it 100%? No, but it's close. The thermal break is the rigid foam. We see the half-pound spray foam within the floor joists. They're trying to make a better home. I like to see that. It's not too often I see that when I open something up. Also the front, very important. At the front wall, which is underneath here,
Right.
okay, is your bedroom.
Right.
That's the bay window that's there, right?
Right.
So he just capped everything off, buttered it right across and sealed it all in. And to me, it makes a hell of a difference. The example is trying to build it better, but having contractors that come in and just don't care enough. They miss a few areas. They don't do it to the best of their ability. So obviously in the winter, if it's freezing cold down here, it is going to stay warm upstairs, and vice versa in the summer. It should help keep everything cool.
Excellent.
It's the way it should be, and I wish it was minimum code.
I'm absolutely thrilled. I had no idea the house really had a problem with it being as cold as it was until the insulation was added into the garage. And the kids and I noticed it right away. And I'm not talking a little bit of a difference, it was a huge difference for us.
Let's take a look at the front porch.
Absolutely.
Because of the design of the home, having that bathroom over top of the front porch, huge flaw in a design. You gotta make that airtight. Stop that cold air from getting into the copper pipes. In order to make it airtight, you gotta use better products. The attempt was there, but it wasn't good enough. Proof's in the pudding. If pipes freeze, there's a problem. So I brought in Martin. He fixed all the plumbing right underneath that tub. I would imagine that as you were taking a bath, that would be one cold tub.
Yeah, I'm amazed you can't touch the tub anymore. This looks great.
One of the biggest issues is that we had a void right here.
Right.
So once again, they attempted with the spray foam, half-pound, not 2-pound,
Right.
and left a void. And that cool draft came in and froze your pipes probably every year since the house was built.
Right.
Till they finally burst.
Right.
Rob and Steve came in, fixed all the soffit, made it look brand new again. Not to mention, they give you a brand new rain barrel out back
It's awesome.
and fixed a lot of your ductwork.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so your
Love it.
eavesdrops, your downspouts. Let's go inside.
Okay, great.
Bit by bit. Is it all about looks? Yes. We're building the houses from the inside out and not the outside in. I can't say that enough. Start concentrating on the outside end. You won't have these problems. We did open up a huge path throughout this area here, took out the whole corner, opened up here, took all the drywall out around the window. We made sure, we came back in and made sure that it was insulated properly. The vapor barrier was now doing what it's supposed to, stop cold air and hot air by tuck taping throughout the floor joists. We even added more insulation in this corner simply because it's the vent stack,
Right.
drain, so that way you can diffuse that sound if anybody flushing the toilet up in your bathroom.
The front of the house has always been the coldest part. We've always avoided it. We've stayed away from it. We've not really utilized that bathroom upstairs as much as we probably could have, despite the fact that kids love the jacuzzi. But now we've got a warm house throughout, and I don't have to worry about those pipes freezing anymore. So I'm very, very happy. This will help me sleep better at night. I was really worried about the washer and dryer. You know, it's always something in the back of your mind you worry about if you get a load that overflows or if you have a pipe that comes unattached and you know exactly where it's going and it's right
Being
down
on the second floor, that's an issue.
to my living
There was no
room.
drain in the floor,
Right.
okay, or a tray or a watertight system of some
Something.
sort with a drain.
Right.
It did not have that. At least it's closed off now and you can use it for storage. All repaired, capped off, and painted. So
Perfect.
That's for you in the future.
Excellent. I was really worried about the loss of value in my home. I was worried about not getting adequate insurance coverage. And I was worried about having a bathroom that wasn't functional for my kids. We went 5 days with no water during the coldest spell we had all year long, and it was a huge, huge inconvenience. The anxiety and the stress that came from this entire 3-month episode trying to get this repaired was enormous, and I wouldn't want to have to go through that again.
It's a shame that I didn't turn this into a Taj Mahal. The problem here was the design.
Yeah.
Putting a bathroom over top of the front porch is not a good idea. That means you got your drains, you've got everything coming in here. I would have preferred to take it apart, move it, put it in another location, but how far do I go before I
Right.
pull your house down and redesign it?
Yeah.
We know ways to fix things. And that's exactly what we did. That'll stop. This room will now be warm. Your bedroom will be warm. And you can actually give this
Awesome.
back
Thank you.
and tell them, thank you so much. I don't need this
I'll
anymore.
put it in the mail for the builder.
That's just
Welcome to have it.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I can't believe I fell for it, but lessons learned. Educate yourself, and that's what I've done.
There's no doubt in my mind she's gonna be warm, the pipes are not gonna freeze, and hopefully we've made a difference in her life. I mean, she's a single mom, right? Who's gonna help her? Who's gonna step up to the plate and say, hey, don't you worry, we're gonna take care of this? Why do we gotta come in and fix this? Shouldn't the builder step up to it? You're trying, you made a mistake, come back and fix it. Well, I hope this works for you. You know, if you have any problems, give me a call, but I
will
don't
do.
think you're gonna have any problems.
Thank you very much.
You keep smiling.
You too.
Okay.
Thanks. I'm really glad the Homes on Homes crew came in and helped put some more wind in our sails and kept us moving forward. So we're very, very thankful.
What? I take my glove off? Oh, okay. I can put my glove back on then.
Bag of catnip. We hear you should always keep it handy in your tool belt.
Yeah, had I have had this when I met your cat on the stairs, he may have been happier with
Exactly. He
me.
would have been, most definitely.
Okay. No? He let me actually pat him for a second, and then he just like, I thought he was gonna attack me. When it fights back at you, it's not a good thing. Thank you.
Thank you
I appreciate it.
for everything.
My pleasure. And this will come in handy if I ever walk into your cat again, I tell you. What?
We were looking for a contractor to, do our basement.
Whoever framed this knows really nothing about construction.
We kept getting phone calls saying, just be patient with us. We know how difficult this is for you.
Rough in plumbing that's not hooked to anything. Okay.
And they knew about the pregnancy, like they knew about the time that we had left.
1 year to build, an hour to take down. We want to be able to get on with our lives and live normally.
Small basement, a lot of problems. Big problems.
Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. But if you're going to do it right the first time. Let's get rid of it. How do you do this to a family? Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Oh, my God. On the money. 2, 3.
Oh my God!
Perfect.
Simon and Lisa planned way ahead. We're gonna have the baby down the road. Let's finish the basement. Get a bathroom in the basement so they can renovate the bathroom upstairs. Have everything done when the baby comes. It's a real windy day today.
We were at the home show. We came across this company. They seemed to have all the right credentials. They were very good at talking the job up and what they'd done, and they'd been in the business a long time.
This is a big company that supposedly does big renovations. They checked them out. They did their homework. Hello, Simon.
Come on
Lisa,
in.
a pleasure to meet you.
The original contract was for $30,000. They actually bumped that later on to 38.
We were told that the cost of doing this beam and getting the engineering drawings and all that was more than they expected, and they had difficulty finding someone to do it.
$8,000 to put this beam in.
They said 4 to 6 weeks was what it was going to take to do the project, and that they would start approximately mid-May.
A year later from starting the job, what do we have done? We have rough-in, carpentry, studded walls. We have electrical, rough-in. We have plumbing, rough-in. No finished basement, baby on the way. About a month and a half away.
They kept not showing up, went on and on and on, and we were almost giving up on them.
This is not hard. This is a 4-week job. Complete, start to finish, 4 weeks. Okay, let's take a walk around. How much have you paid this contractor so far?
$27,000 plus.
In November came to us and said, you know, we're going to start December. And we were like, okay, thank goodness, finally, we're going to get going.
Let's take a real good look at this. Here's the bathroom.
December 4th, they showed up. They did some work.
We don't do this. This is our ventilation. They've cut into the stud like this. At least they put up a plate, but I hate that because it's not the proper plate. And that's so nobody can pierce that with a screw. Although a drywall screw will pierce it. It's supposed to let you know there's something there, right? But because they cut the studding like that, there's not a lot within that to be strong.
Several weeks after that, it was, oh, there's been a burst pipe at this other site and they can't come back to work on our project and for a little bit longer.
Everything needs to be nailing edges, right? So it's all structures tied in. We wonder why all our corners crack. It's because of slop work just like this.
All of our furniture and all of our belongings that we've had here have gone upstairs to our dining room, and we haven't been able to have anyone over for dinner. We haven't been able to really use the space.
It's like living in a war zone.
Yeah, not being comfortable, not being able to relax fully because you've got all this clutter and it kind of just weighs on you and you don't feel you can move forward.
We're venting. We now go up. We go over. And we come back down. You can't do that.
I phoned the president of the company and I said, that's it. I don't want you in anymore. You know, you've burnt all your bridges.
Now they're trying to negotiate to get out of the job and they want a settlement fee for running the job.
Claim that they've spent $28,000 effectively, you know, including their management fee.
Come, just go away. Just go away. What the hell is this? We have bulkheads. Let's run it through the bulkhead. Let's bring it back in. Let's tie it down in low.
I guess really what happens is you get in fairly deep. You know, when you've already made a commitment of your down payment and you feel committed, that you tend to go on expecting them to deliver, and it just never happened.
It's all the things I see. Why are my pipes banging? They're not secured, right? They're not properly secured at all. Electrical, look at this, I just saw this. We have a junction point here. They were gonna hide this, because you're gonna drywall this, right? The framing is completely driving me nuts. See the corner there? We're gonna fix that with corner bead? Drywall screws. This is not at all good enough to hold your drywall. I didn't even pull hard on that. Bit by bit, we're gonna see problem after problem arising here. There's one really good point here. They didn't go any further. There they are, a year. Imagine that. Hiring someone, giving them $28,000, and all you've got is crap that's not finished.
And we're worried about the future in terms of our baby and the safety. We want to make sure that the house is ready to be lived in, and then it's okay for her.
For me, it's simple. I'm gonna take it all down. I'm gonna investigate. I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna make it right. Keep smiling.
Thank you
I'll
very
get the
much.
guys,
Thank you very much.
and we'll be back.
Excellent.
Right, thanks
Okay.
very much.
Well, you see one thing wrong, 2, 3, you know, there's how many things wrong in here?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna cement this properly, but I really wanna see what they did here, and I'm not gonna finish this basement until I know this is right.
Our patience has only gone so far, and we have to start moving. We don't have the time to wait, so we need the help to get it done.
The baby will be here before the
We have a
basement's even
basement.
done.
Another basement.
Yeah.
Quite a few things wrong, but you know what I wanna start with? Cleaning up. Let's get the garbage out. Let's get the walker out into the garage. Let's keep the jack posts, and we'll put those in the truck. Pinky, education time. Come here. Look at all the 1x3s. So held up with one drywall screw, So in total, that whole length, which is about 8 feet, we had 3 drywall screws. And what do we see right there?
A junction.
A junction. Actually, there's quite a few junctions, so they were just going to drywall over it, which, are we allowed to do that?
No.
Actually, did you hear that? Listen. What does that mean?
There's water sitting in the
There's
pipe.
water. Why is there water sitting in the pipe?
Because your slope's wrong.
That's right. We see a run down here on the bulkhead. It's unlevel. How was this screwed in? With drywall screws. Let's clean it up. Just gonna pull the studs down. We're not gonna wreck the place. Let's cut them out, drill them out, do whatever we do. See if we can reuse them, okay?
No nails at all on this one.
These are the things that drive me nuts. We got a nice wire hanging from the box. It's live. Where does that go? Let's look up in here. Be very careful because everything is live. It's right there. Shut the breaker off. Safety. Electrical lines, they come down, they want to go around the beam, they staple them real tight, bringing them across the beam. What if the center ever energized that beam? We don't want electrical touching steel. See this? Copper does not touch steel. Why? Copper and steel do not get along. It's also grounding the house, which now grounds that beam. Silly buggers.
Did you see this, Holmes? So that's what, 220?
That's 220. Imagine that. You're grabbing this, you're moving it around, and it energizes this.
No kidding.
Whoa, boy, would you fly.
Not only that, right beside the washing machine, any water splashing around on this, that's a dangerous...
Stupidity. Yeah. That's stupidity.
Is that live? Oh, my God.
Yep. Sitting right up on top, just like this. Even though I don't want to keep it up there anymore. It's right up there, so they've disconnected it. Who the hell knows what they've done to the electrical? Frank's gonna have a shoot. It's over the ductwork. I'm telling you, there's no clamp. There's one clamp here. We have one clamp here, and beautiful. Somebody put clamps in here. Wrong clamps. Remember what I said about steel touching copper? It's supposed to be copper. You know, this is the easiest stuff, is to reroute the copper. It's easy. But no, run it up over the ductwork, across the steel beam. No, do it the hard way.
Holy! They put half the effort into their studs as they did into this little piece of wood.
I found a clean out. Interesting. So we know we have a clean out right here. Our clean outs are gonna be where the pipe runs out the wall. My guess is, look at this, there was a clean out right here, or somewhere in this neighborhood in this area. So that means we have an interior drain line as well as a sewage line. I can see the hole they bust open on the floor, and this is all we needed to run the shower, which they tied in to the main. So that means they removed the clean out without putting one back in. Now that's kind of fishy, because that tells me, was this truly passed? So let's pull up this plywood. They did cement it. Let's break it. I want to see all the drains. I want to see how it's tied in. I want to see what they did with that clean out, okay?
Okay.
Let's break it. But having a clean out there and removing another clean out, how do you get to that clean out when there's a bench there? How do you ever scope these drains? Here, I want to see what they did under this.
Not to mention, it looks like a leaky main
It's been
line
leaking.
coming in.
Well, it's dripping right now. I just saw the drip.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw the wood we pulled up. It was saturated. So close that off so you can't get to it.
Right.
It's freaking brilliant, eh?
40 grand.
Waste of money. See that? When they do it wrong, it comes up easy. Not that much cement. It appears like they did it correct. We do have a Y off the toilet. The toilet's on the run, so we've got a Y. This is a vent. 1.5-inch vent that goes up and supposedly ties in it, which is incorrect, but it is air behind water. So as a rough-in, if the inspector came in and it was up to here, he'd so far pass it. We have a proper Y here, so anything horizontal requires a Y and not a TY. Well, what I want to see is how they tied in, because I saw a trap there. Now I gotta see the weeper in case they broke it, okay? So what we see is we have the clean out for the weeper and no clean out anymore for the sewage. I'm not impressed with that. Was that broke?
It was cracked. I just pulled it right off. It was just sitting there.
Great. Okay, you know what? Stick that back in before we get dirt in there. Pull that earth out and just stick it in place.
All right.
I'm gonna assume that when they tied into it, they broke it and sat it back in place and put the fitting over top of it and used the Fernco fitting to tighten against it. So odds are they broke it and didn't want to dig down further, which is now what we're gonna have to do.
I went upstairs, I inspected the kitchen. The pipe diameter for the drain is okay, but there's no vent. Sorry for breaking the news.
You gotta love it.
Oh, man.
They did get permits on this, they did get screwed on this, and they've been working on this for a year.
A year?
She's due with a baby. They wanted to get this done so they could remodel the bathroom upstairs. So they're kind of screwed up on this one. Okay, first thing I saw was the two, obviously we have in and out, okay? And the exhaust from the hot water heater, and I saw them take it up through the deck at the top.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And I get the feeling it's too close to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any issues of bringing those lines right out to the end of the deck?
Nope.
As long as we have it on a down run, we don't have to worry about the condensation?
Everything needs to slope back to the furnace.
Okay.
The air conditioner should be moved.
It should be moved.
That hot air from the air conditioning throws 5 feet up. Right now, you're about a foot. So it's hitting the deck and coming right back down into the air conditioning. Eventually, that unit, the compressor, will give out on it. And I can guarantee you it's probably already been done already. I see they changed the liquid line dryer here.
This is going to actually off-gas into the house because that wasn't put in right.
You will get a little bit of leakage here because it's not tight. If anybody ever was doing some work here and they lifted this off, now you got it coming into the house.
Don't worry, we'll move this.
Oh, that beautiful drain pipe.
This is the main sanitary drain.
That one is the vent outside, right?
This should be the breather for this trap. You cannot attach the drain directly into the trap. You cannot do that. As the water is draining through this line, it picks up the momentum. All of a sudden, it ends up in a trap where all that momentum is being lost. Here, I'm gonna get all the solids, all the debris just sitting.
In the trap.
In the trap. The traps are no longer approved by code because of the amount of problems that they create.
We're gonna cut all the scrap out.
Exactly.
And we're gonna redo it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But we want to scope to make sure everything else is fine.
Exactly, yeah. See, because we're dealing with clay pipe, and this is an original pipe that was installed with the house. Pieces break apart quite easily. I want to make sure we don't have any other surprises outside, and the pipe is actually intact. So.
Tell me we're gonna dig outside, and I'm really gonna have a good evening tonight.
See, what I'm looking for is any offsets, any misalignments, any cracks in the pipe that could give me an indication of aging.
I saw a Y there. I take it the neighbors also tied into that line?
Yeah.
Now you're out to the street. And there's no water, no blockage.
Perfectly clear.
All right, I'm feeling a little better. Let's get a chalk line and keep it in line with this area right here.
Okay.
We're chalk a line right to the 1.5 inch, okay? And then we're gonna get a 45, a square,
yeah.
Okay, a 90. And we're gonna come over here. I wanna see a drain approximately right here.
That looks pretty good. Okay.
So we're gonna have to cut that path, even if you keep it here. That way we got it right in here. We can put the trap in the floor. And we use it both for the hot water heater and the furnace. The only reason I'm trying to get the bathroom over here is because we have a window. And personally, I want a window in the bathroom. In that location, there's no window. You can always film the window, so that way we get light in, nobody can see it go to the bathroom. With the laundry over there, so we have access to the water, as well as just turn it into a laundry room. I can actually make storage, a nice cabinet. I think I'm moving the bathroom over here.
Always the first step before anybody finishes the basement,
run a video camera, scope the drain, find out what the condition of it is. It will give you an idea of the life expectancy of your drain, as well as it will give you an idea of where the drains are running, how deep they are, whether there are any tree roots, whether there are any issues that may cause you problems down the road. If you're gonna have a construction crew here, change the drains. Replace them with new PVC. That way, once you close the floor, you never get back to this issue. It's PVC material. This is the only material that is allowed for underground drain installation. Nowadays, it's the best material. It's a lot better than clay. It does have some flexibility to it, so if the ground shifts or settles, that pipe will not crack, will not deteriorate. It will sort of work with the soil. As soon as you extend the pipe above the concrete surface, you make a transition, and then you continue with the ABS material. If it's installed properly, if it's supported with gravel properly, then it can last as long as the house pretty much. If it's done right, you don't have to be concerned.
Well, we got all the plumbing passed, the rough in anyways, by the building inspector. He came in and took a good look at it, which I'm very pleased with. The guys that filled it in with the concrete did a self-leveling here. We're gonna have to do just a little bit more. We started the subfloor on this side with the thermal break, the rigid foam underneath it. We found out the engineer did not inspect the footings for this post over here. So the problem is we now have to put in a support post here. We're gonna have to put in a support post right here, get another one in directly underneath. So we're gonna have 3 of them holding the weight load while we pull this guy out, cut the floor, and put in a proper footing. What we did was we did a test hole at this location to determine what type of footing is under this post. He did not like it. So he said, it's got to be done again. So surprised, but it's not a surprise. Did we find anything right in here? No. Did we find lots wrong? Yes. Start studding here. I want you to be at least 1.5 inches, okay? So get your bottom plate in, get your top plate in, stand in your studs. Let's remember we're gonna build out the wall beyond that 2-inch sleeve right there of the ABS. Okay. And that way we can spray foam in behind it. Make sure every stud is away from the wall, that's all. All corners, everything, okay? And don't tag them in until you're level. Where's my tape? Where's my drill? Maybe I should bring my own tools, right? Oh! I'm just laying out the floor so further ahead they know just to go up and stud from where I lay it. Anything I can do to keep ahead of these guys. He said the concrete was no good. All day. I have a minor issue. When it rained, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I was in LA. They said water came in the basement at this location right here. This is the old fill pipe for the old oil tank. Because there used to be an oil tank downstairs. Yeah. So if it's leaking in this location, I'm just wondering, we do have a downfall here. I'm wondering if the water actually went in there. Last thing I want to do is break up the driveway, go down, re-waterproof the wall, trying to get the, because we're finishing the basement. I'm thinking about calling in my asphalt guys, so I just called you in to ask that question. Should we open it up, repair it, do a new asphalt, maybe break this down a bit?
With a block wall, we can always tell from the inside, where you're getting the waterproof of a puddle or where the blocks are getting wet, but that's not necessarily where the cavity is that's letting the blocks fill up with water. That can be anywhere up and down
Like
this
the
wall.
dominoes effect, it could be coming in from
Yeah,
anywhere.
just like the champagne glasses. It just spills over from glass
I like
to
that
glass,
one better.
right? So,
Dominoes.
it may very well be where this pipe is coming through the wall. Or, we've seen a couple of possibilities on the exterior. The only way to know for sure is to dig it up and repair the whole thing. Where the old down pipe is going into the ground there, even if we reroute that down pipe, the old clay pipe is most likely cracked, so it's gonna fill up with groundwater, so whatever's happening in that front quarter, we still might see that even if we reroute the down pipe. So we should cap that right at the base
just to stop any water from going down there.
And if we're gonna dig down there, we might as well dig down to here.
Yep.
All right. Great. Okay. Simple basement.
Plan to have things finished on certain dates so that we can continue with other projects on the house to be finished before the baby's here. And what's happened is that, you know, they've completely ruined those plans.
There they are, a year. Imagine that. Hiring someone, giving them $28,000, and all you've got is crap that's not finished.
I feel very nervous, very anxious. That was one of our concerns when we were renovating, is making sure it was safe and that it was done on time. And a year's passed, and we're at the point where we have to get it done. We don't have a choice with the baby on the way in a month and a half. So we're down to the wire, and we're hoping that, you know, Mike, and we know he will help us get out of this. But it's just, you know, we've been digging and digging. We can't get ourselves out. And so
It's
we're...
nerve-wracking. This was the first step, the basement being done, which was supposed to be done a year ago, to being able to finish the other parts of the house. And what it effectively has done is only having one bathroom. It's completely stopped us from doing anything else.
The last one was done with half-inch pipe before, and with the half-inch PVC, they decided to tie into the existing old metal, which does not have any drain hole, so it ends up not passing the electrical code. Half-inch can be used with T90. With the amount of work it takes to get the actual wire in the pipe, it just doesn't make any sense. Use the 1.25 inch.
Okay, Frank.
Oh. Stand up?
Yep.
Sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at these guys. Come in here and fly through it. I don't even need any questions. Just pull the crap out and do it again.
Very bad job here. Look at that. No screws, no tape. Not good. No screws again. Well, this run before was underneath this beam and it was running straight. You can see the hole on the ductwork there was running here like this under the beam and right to this pipe. It's better to move it up in the joist. You don't have to box, you just gotta box it over here. So what I did was I took it down and put a top takeoff on the top of the duct and ran a new 5-inch pipe over to here, 45 it, another 45, and an elbow right back into the existing pipe. Now I'm just gonna screw it and then tape it up. And then we have another run on the other side coming down to the basement. So there is a couple of runs here that we had to do. There's probably a total about 4 of them. And there's also one return there that we gotta put in. So it's not a bad day. We'll just take our time and do it, you know, a little bit at a time.
Was this cracked in the first place?
Yeah, that was cracked when we opened it up, so it wasn't sitting on there. We haven't yet opened up the bottom to see what's happening.
You think it's tied into the bottom weeping?
We got to open it up and check.
Okay, where do you think the water's? Well, we see a crack right here. That could be one little minor source, not major.
There's another little crack that we found right in this area here as well.
Ooh. Okay, starting here.
Yeah.
Works its way down. It's obvious because this is where the old pipes came in the wall. Through the mortar, continues, because once it starts cracking on the foundation wall, it usually doesn't stop. We can see it running down, right down at the bottom.
That's our culprit. Contributing for sure, and...
Because we know if this is open, it's gonna allow the water to come in here and continuously soak. That's why we didn't see a lot of water in the basement. Well, we saw enough, it was coming in.
Yeah, we're gonna pull them both right out of the wall anyways and repair the hole that they put through the wall with these. We just finished the first coat of the elastomeric membrane. Right now we're applying the yellow jacket mesh. This mesh is ingrained with resin, so it's very tacky and it will adhere to the first coat. And they've made it yellow, which is quite smart because when we apply our second coat of the elastomeric, we can go right over top of it and we can make sure that we haven't missed any areas with our second coat. So what we're doing now is completely encasing this mesh So what will happen is, even in the wintertime, this is never gonna fully cure. It will always stay with a little bit of elasticity, so if there's any movement in this foundation, it's gonna move with it. It's not gonna cure brittle, and there it's not gonna crack.
The building inspector was just in. He said everything's perfect. He loves it. I told him that we're going to be doing the spray foam today. He'll come back in the morning, inspect all the insulation, then we can close it up. You're insulating?
Yeah, just helping the plumbers out here.
Okay,
Slackers.
now since we're going to use this as a temporary jam to stop the spray foam, what I want you to do is wrap it with vapor barrier, okay?
Sure.
So what that's going to do is seal the vapor barrier to here, and when we pull them off, it won't pull off the spray foam.
Not a problem.
Frank's still got a couple more things to do with electrical. And what I'm going to do is do concrete board in this room for a fire rating.
Oh, okay.
Instead of drywall, I want the best, so we're gonna do
Okay.
concrete board. I don't want to do any bulkheads till we drywall the ceiling.
Okay.
So continue on with all your insulation, providing you know that Frank does not got to wire through those zones.
Right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Thursday, I'm gonna have, so in 4 days, I'm gonna have the glass guys come in and measure for the glass, so I need to have that area done in the bathroom. Is we have a week and 2 days to finish this and give it back to the homeowners. Why so fast? And I'm not liking so fast, but we will do it properly within that time limit, is because they're gonna have a baby. Let's get this done, mess done, cleaned up, boom, and we're out of here and they got a brand new baby in the world. Makes it easier. Obviously, we've set all the studding in place. Built it outside of the wall so we can get the spray foam in and behind it and up into the floor joist voids. We've already spray foam behind the panel, so if you can get him behind the corner, that would be fantastic. We need it right across. If you can just get your guy to hold this out and spray until it sets, and then he can let it go.
That way you won't pull it off.
Right, because my electricians will pull on it. If we set it in there, which we can, he'll pull on it and break the seal. So I'd rather him pull, spray, and then let it go. We have an adjoining house here, so we don't have to worry so much about the furnace room, other than this wall right through, and we've set precisely for you to get in behind it, so right to the end and up. Voids again. This is all fine. I'll build the bulkhead afterwards. This one being the adjoining wall, we don't have to worry about at all on that end. But if we can just butter it right across the front and bring into the corner about a foot, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Do you see any problems at all?
Nothing at all. Actually, we just have to make sure we push up all that insulation up top.
On the one side?
Yeah, on the one side, create a really nice envelope for them down in here. They'll be super happy.
As Alex says, intimate. I love that word.
Intimate is a good one.
Because that's the way to say it. If we're intimate, that way we have no airspace in behind it, and it's airspace we're trying to stop. We started off with, I wanted resilient channel, and I had an issue with trying to keep it down below the beam. The resilient channel, there was a couple of areas that just didn't give me that distance, and I didn't want that bow. So we just used some U channel. It's almost the same theory. If we screw one side and leave the other side hanging, it helps take away that reverberation of sound. We've added the insulation, so that's gonna help us. If I can just get you to start on the ceiling, bring it right across, get the walls done, we'll continue to help you. I want to build the bulkheads afterwards, so once you drywall in, then I'll build the bulkheads down. So how long do you think this will take you?
It shouldn't take no more than a couple hours.
That's impressive.
More?
Nice dollops.
What are dollops?
Of cement. There you go.
First coat of 90. So it really burns really hard when you put 90, and you want to make sure that tomorrow will be dry for another coat.
This looks like a really good compressed bed already. We're just gonna add some more A-gravel crush on it.
That's right. Put it all around, regrade it, roll it with the vibration roller.
We were talking earlier, and he said the drainage is all wrong, and it's important to control the water. One, we don't want the water running into the house or the foundation on either side. So if we manipulate it, that we come up and groove it and tunnel it down the center of the driveway, spring, fall, winter, all of it, all the seasons, it controls the water flow.
Hot stuff. It's hot. I love my job.
Moving poop again. It just seems to be my job lately. God, I love my job.
Now, how many times you see a new driveway go in, and they walk away, and they leave the land with a face on it? Now, you know what? The homeowners go, man, what am I gonna do with that? I've seen people put in stone, I've seen people put in bricks. There's a real easy way to solve this problem. What we're gonna do is take the shovel, and we're gonna go in underneath and pull that earth out.
And then we're gonna fold the grass over, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as it folds down, you can just walk along it. It brings it down to the point where it appears to go in. And if it's not enough, you just dig some more out. We can always back push the earth, but instead of it looking like this, we can bring it right down. See, that already looks better, eh? Hey, look what I saw. That's a small alley. Remember as kids?
That was before my time.
I was good at it. It's mine. It's mine.
Today we're going to spray and back roll this basement. I think it'll take me probably about 45 minutes. The reason we have to back roll is because if we don't, you'll create a film on top of the fresh drywall and drywall board. So by pushing it into the drywall, it actually makes sure you get the adhesion.
This is the lighter colored grout we're using on this dark porcelain tile. The reason we're using it is because the floor is a light colored mosaic in this shower. And this light colored grout is going to make the floor stand out more than the walls. And it also matches the splotching in the marble jams that the glass is going to sit on. So once this is all cleaned up and done, it's all going to tie in nicely without changing the room too much. Just by picking a different colored grout, you change the whole look of what you did.
We're gonna clean up. I want them to mop the floor just so that we get any, I don't want that powder down there. You know, they've sanded, they've primed. We've been working like crazy to get this done. We got a baby on the way.
Oh boy.
Not us, the family upstairs. So we're trying to get it done. We have 2 more days, and I don't see any issues here. We're flying like crazy. So after you, the carpet will be in, and I'm hoping not today. Please tell me the carpet's not coming in today. If so, we'll deal with it. We have drop cloths.
No problem.
What we're doing is we're using a quick set right now. So then the next 2 hours, when the plumbers come back, they can put their laundry basin in and finish up what they have to finish. So this stuff dries really fast. Within about a half an hour, this will be dry. So I gotta work real fast. Typically, we just use a normal thin set that would take like 12 hours, 14 hours to dry, and then we'd walk on it the next day. So basically what we're trying to do is save ourselves a day, because if you spend 14 hours waiting for this to dry, we'll never get anywhere. So in 2 hours, we'll be walking and working on this.
Oh, hi. Welcome to Pinky's Playhouse. There she is.
What we're doing today is we're recovering the Freon from the air conditioning. When the guys built the deck, they built the deck right on top of the air conditioning, as you can see by this big access door they put here. What it does is it has a coil around the unit, which sucks air into it, and then blows the heated air out. So you're actually causing it to blow that heated air back inside the unit, so it's not forcing that hot air to come out. So you're causing that compressor to overheat, which will trip out on overload, and then eventually you're gonna have compressor failure. It's undoubtable.
We're doing something different here. We're gonna mount it instead of the center, because the toilet comes out approximately 27 to 29 inches. I'm gonna assume 27. We'll mount the door to the side, which is always better if we can get our hinges on structure rather than on glass.
Exactly.
And that way we got plenty of room to swing in and out, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more solid too.
I used to say the last day was the worst, that it was always all about bringing on all these people, but it's been that way for the last 3 weeks here, trying to get it done before the baby came. And so far we're successful. I kicked the family out today because they wanted to sit around and be part of this, and it was like, no, you gotta go. We'll call you and come back in. But it's still the same. We got about 20 people in here running throughout and around the house, plumbers, electricians, and pros in here, Gary and Brian. Doing the new air conditioner and HEPA filter system, which is, we're here. Let's do these extra little things. There is a baby coming here, so I want to get this done. Now, this is the whisper quiet, or whatever you want to call it. It's extremely quiet.
Extremely quiet. As you can see, the design on the blades,
they're pointed.
They're pointed.
And it turns in that direction.
That's right. So it just like slices right through the air. Normal fan blades are just rounded. These ones are pointed at the end.
But I thought it was more or less the motor that made the noise.
No, most of the noise you get is from the fan blades itself.
Is that right? Oh, look at that. That's different.
Nice.
That's totally different.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, I hope that Mike is able to come in and help us get our lives back. Basically, we've been held ransom and not being able to live down in our basement, not being able to use it except to do laundry, and we want to enjoy our home and to feel comfortable and safe in it.
Last day, happy day, hard job, $40,000 contract. A little high on the price for the basement based on 600 square feet, $28,000 out of pocket. You saw what we had to do. Set the mood. This is a big company that claims to be professional, that took a year to the point where she's almost having the baby. That's why we're here. That's why we're working day and night to get it done, cleaned up before the baby comes in. After you.
Oh, wow.
As you can tell, we fixed up here and painted the walls.
Wow. That's amazing.
Wow, you just started. I feel good.
Wow.
This is brilliant.
This is stunning.
Let's start over here. Last time I brought you in, we saw a lot of problems. Okay, we did a few things like moving, broke a whole lot of concrete in the floor, rerouted all your drainage, moved all the plumbing in the ceiling. There was not anything that wasn't moved. As a matter of fact, we even repaired your plumbing from the kitchen upstairs because it was not vented properly. Replaced all the plumbing, all the electrical, rerouted everything, the structure for the beam, new footings on the post. Make the engineer happy, the building inspectors. We started with a thermal break on your floor, 1-inch rigid foam going down, 5/8 tongue and groove plywood, tap gone down to the concrete, which gives us that thermal break, which will never allow moisture to come up through and always keep this floor nice and warm. They got the permits. They did it right. What went wrong?
It just been a sequence of events that just seem to get worse and worse and worse. And it makes you very wary when you feel you've done your homework and then basically you get screwed.
We put in a whole new air conditioner outside. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know. That's fantastic.
It is absolutely top of the line. It is stunningly gorgeous, and you can't hear it. It is unbelievable. So we took it from this location and put it where it should be, on the other end of the deck. Moved all the ventilation out because it was in the wrong spot. That exhaust going out at your back door was a huge issue. At the same token, I wanted to think of the new baby.
Yes.
So you have a HEPA air filter system that really just picks up all the crap in the home and allows us to breathe healthier inside the house, okay?
You expect, to be honest and have someone tell you what's expected and to have that follow through. And then when that doesn't happen, it kind of destroys any kind of trust you have in others. Even though they're well-intentioned, you look at things a lot differently.
So far we're happy?
We're very happy.
Absolutely amazing.
This is the baby's room. Just kidding, just kidding. It is your room under the stairs, which we continued the cherry wood floor right in. And great storage. Now, what's behind door number 1 here? Or is that door number 2? Because this was door number 1, wasn't it? It's the laundry room. Okay, it's nothing big, nothing exciting. I just thought I'd freak you out for a second.
Good job.
In here, we also have a drain in the floor because I want it in the laundry room, and I want the laundry room in the basement. The water meter here is now put over. Look how nice and clean and neat it is. We have a proper clean out, which they abandoned before.
Worried on that. Yes. You're really worried about that.
Well, it was a good thing I broke the floor because I just showed what was necessary for this. Underneath this floor, we also have a waterproof system because I'm very big on that as well. It just works the same thing. Maybe it makes you wonder what's in that room now.
We knew he would do the job right. And, I had read his book, and a lot of the stuff that I was seeing in the book when I was reading it was setting off a lot of alarms with the contractor that we had, which is what eventually made me throw them out. And that basically saved the day.
Behind door number 2, I wanted you to have a storage room down here. You don't want to overload the laundry room or anything, so this is now storage or closet. It's up to you what you want to do with it, but it's big enough, and again, bulkhead in the back, running everything that we need to run. We made sure everything was perfectly done here. So door number 3 must be the bathroom. After you.
Oh, wow. This is great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
I thought it was important to turn your bathroom where the window is. It just kind of makes sense to me. So we frosted your windows. You see that? Which means now you can go in there and have a shower and take a play with it. Behind your door, let's close your door. Behind your door, we took advantage of another neo-angle wall.
Nice.
Okay, and put in a recessed custom shelf that we built, put it in place. We brought in Stan, my tile guy, who did all the tiles in the bathroom. We actually did the tiles. We really tried to break up here. We were trying to get this done for you, so we separate as much as possible. You're talking about 14 different contractors were in here, different specialty teams.
The small amount of time, really, that it took for him to fix it all up made it a lot easier, because we would have been living in a real mess for a long time, that's for sure.
Because it's the basement, it's something that I recommend that you do in-floor heating in the basement. But the new stuff that we have on the market, this is great. When we want to turn it on, look at this. It lights up, it sets, it's all in a switch. It's no longer on its own, it's within a gang. So we'll switch on the light, you turn on your heat, there's a timer on it. This thing does everything. You want to set it on a timer, you usually shower 7 in the morning, set it. It'll warm up the floor, away you go. You probably won't want to use the bathroom upstairs anymore. You spend your money right in the first place, you'll never spend it again to fix it. You want to do this twice? And one thing, unfortunately, I could not leave out, was your driveway. Because we did have a leak, and that leak was from a rain. And I always hope that it rains when I'm working in a basement, especially, so I can take a look to see where possible water's coming in. And we were in this area. So that's when I brought in Rob to reroute. Your east trough sucked out the front.
Right, yes.
Rerouted. I don't know why you, the neighbor, had both houses coming into your weeping, but we moved it to the center so it goes out to the grass.
And they're very happy about that.
Broke your driveway. Brought in another crew of professionals. Waterproofed the wall. Fixed all the weeping on this side, which was good, by the way, it was good. We scoped all your drains. We did everything to make sure what we're doing is protected.
We were figuring that we had to wait another year to get all these extra little bits done that are outside the house, and Mike went and fixed them all, and we came home, we were completely amazed. Yes. We were stunned.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
My absolute pleasure. My absolute. We're gonna have a hug. Okay, something's wrong with that. I want to hug you. Just kidding.
Thanks very much.
And thank you.
We would be in a real mess, and I don't know if we could get out of the hole we were in without Mike. It was chaotic, and we're very lucky, very happy.
Yeah.